I purchased Enchantress as my second ever early access bundle because I was really excited to use this character, because this character is completely changing how game design can be done in MCoC. There's never been a champion as complicated as Enchantress, with as many tools that you need to memorize as Enchantress. But at the same time, you don't necessarily have to memorize, because you get the spell book if you just pause the fight, and then you can just check it right there. So if I ever forget how to cast one of my spells, I've hit the pause button, and then we're chilling. So she has so many fight control tools that just make her a utility powerhouse. Like, against this Necropolis Odin, we're going to be using several of her key abilities to be able to control this fight really, really well. And the first I'm going to talk about is the green spell called Haste. Haste gives me reverse control immunity, and on this Necropolis path, reverse controls is the big gimmick of it, because every time the opponent finishes a special, they're going to invert your controls for 5 seconds. And if I just cast Haste, which is just right, then I get reverse control immunity for, I believe, like 30 seconds. So I'm not going to always trigger it, because I want to stack up all 3 of my green spells to trigger them all on my SP2 again. But until then, once we get to the SP2, we're going to be inverted control immune for virtually the rest of the fight. Basically, how I like to ramp Enchantress is I'm going to be going for about 4 of each color spell. So in each spell, there's 3 unique ones, unless for purple there's 4, and then for the purple ones, I want to be triggering Charm Champion. That just increases my power steal, which is by going up, down, up. And the power steal extra is just going to be a lot, I can't talk, but it's going to be very helpful for this fight, because we want to be spamming specials as much as possible, and that's how we're going to be able to do it, by getting increased power steal potency. So I'm going to drop an SP2 here and re-trigger everything, and there we go. We have all 3 of our green effects back. We have a massive charm debuff that's very potent. You can see how much extra power gain we're getting on combos and how much less power gain Odin is getting. And then we also triggered all of our fireball spells, which are the best of the 3 damaging spells in my opinion, because I think it does the most damage of the 3. So in a matchup where the opponent isn't incinerate immune, or you don't need the the evade control with the cold snap one, then I think going for the fireball spell is the best of the 3. So what you want to do is keep all of your green, purple, and orange spells at an even number count, because then you get a bunch of extra effects on your SP2. If you have purple as the max stack, you're going to repeat the effects of all of your spells. If you have green, you're going to regen all of the damage you do, or a bunch of the damage you do, and then orange, you gain extra crit rate on the attack. So if they're at an equal count of like the same number of spell counts, you can see they're all 4, then you trigger all of the effects at once. And so we're just getting so many extra abilities here to be able to take this Odin down. So we have all of Odin's 6 buffs that we need to let him have for us to deal damage. And yeah, at this point, I'm going to be just dropping SP2s for the rest of the fight. I might try to push myself to a stack of 5 spells for each, but the attack rating increase on the SP2 does cap at 12, so the only extra effects I'm getting by going for 5 of each spell is just some personal ones, like, okay, so more crit rating for the orange, more power steal from the green, and then I don't remember exactly what the extra purple ones are going to do, but it doesn't matter too much. We're just going to try to get them all even again, and then, yeah, we're immune to inverted controls just like that, and we're chilling. So activate Charm Champion again. I don't want buff control in this fight because I want Odin to have buffs, so that's why we're sticking with the Power Steal one for the purple spells, because most of the purple spells are all buff control, and yeah, we don't want that in this fight, so we're just going to go for extra Power Steal. And then just drop a bunch of SP2s. I'm pretty sure at this point I do not even go for more SP1s. I'm just dropping SP2s for the rest of the fight, and that's really all I'm going to need to kill Odin. Yeah, so the additional green ones, in case you wanted to know, I talked about Haste, which is going to give me the Invert Controls immunity, but the other one gives me an Untouchable, and it also lets me regen energy damage I take. And the The other one that goes up, 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 which is called Levitate, it gives me the ability to regen block damage. So there's just so much healing in this character once you get going. You can see every time I throw a special 2, I'm healing like 6% of my health, which normally wouldn't sound too crazy, but because of the fact I'm throwing so many SP2s in this fight, we're going to finish this fight at a full yellow bar. And yeah, at this point, the fight is literally over. I'm fully ramped. I just need to drop SP2s until he dies. And you can see he only has 56 challenger rating left, but we're still going to be able to kill him before he hits 0, because that's just how much extra damage our special attacks are going to do. Like, we can go here, 30k, 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 that's 5 30k crits with like 150k burst damage at the end, so it's 300k SP2s every time I throw them. Absolutely crazy. Obviously, it takes forever to get the ramp, but she is designed for long fights and attacks, so that's just how that goes sometimes. And yeah, 30k, and then 4 30ks, and then a burst of about 150. I can't see it exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's about the amount it is. And I have 4 incinerates ticking for extra damage, and then I have a shock ticking for extra damage, which I wish I did incinerate instead. I just messed up one of my spell casting, so it's all good. Drop a heavy attack there, which, in case you didn't know what her heavy attack does, the first hit will cancel my SP3, so I can't throw it, and then the second hit will cancel my SP2, so I can only throw an SP1. So if you ever get pushed to an SP3, and usually that's like a problem because like I don't want to throw my SP3 like ever in this fight, so I'll just throw a heavy attack and then I can cancel my SP3 out, so I'm not actually just screwed. So there we go. Not much else to say about this fight. Enchantress, I'm gonna have a much longer video of Enchantress content coming later this week. I'm just trying to take my time to record it all first. But this was the fight that I was most impressed by so far, because she just controls this fight with such ease. It's so great. Like, again, her utility kit is just so strong. And then once the damage is ramped, it's also so strong. So I'm really liking playing her so far. She's not a BG's champion, which is fine because I play a lot of non-BG's champions still. And so it's definitely something I enjoy using. She's going to be interesting for war. She's also like one of the best, if not the best, serpent counters, which I'm going to try to make a video on as well, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to figure that out when I can get a good schedule, because there's going to be a lot of Enchantress videos coming from me in the next week, because there's so much about this character I want to show off, and a lot of people saying that she might not be the best for BGs, which is true. And if you care about content that isn't BG's, she's going to be a very good champion. Again, Alliance 4, I think she's good for. Spring of Sorrow, Eternity of Pain type health pools, she is really good for. Like, I have some Eternity of Pain, Spring of Sorrow, Summer of Suffering solos that I want to show off as well that I'm going to be getting to. So yeah, she's also a Necropolis fight taker, as you can see here. Like, this Odin's going to go down before we hit the final phase of Challenger rating, and I am playing a 6-star, so if you were lucky enough to get the 7-star Enchantress, the Challenger rating you're going to have is much larger, and it lets you take these fights so much easier because you don't have to worry about time as much, like I have to for Odin. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, more Enchantress content coming very soon. And I will see you in the next one.